The opinions and statements made on the Josh Bernstein Show are solely those of the host and do not reflect those of any of the show's advertisers or sponsors.
President Trump could cure cancer tomorrow and rescue kittens from a burning building, and they'd still call him a piece of I don't want to drain the swamp. What I want to do is I want to drown these swamp monsters in their own swamp water.
And now, America's favorite bald badass, Josh Bernstein.
Welcome back to the program. The smell of winning. Isn't it just wonderful? Everything is so much better. I swear the grass is greener. The air is cleaner. The mountains look more defined. Everything is better. I'm sleeping better. I feel better. Maybe I look better. Who knows? I don't know. I guess my wife doesn't have any problems with the way I look. But everything is just better. I mean, everything is better. The dogs seem happier, right? Everything is better when you know that your country is going to be saved. Okay? And we are winning, baby. We are winning. We are so back. And the best part is that we know we're going to win because President Trump has been there before and he has always kept his promises. Well, guess what? He's kept yet another promise. He's also showing to the American people that the immigration thing that he ran on is number one on his list. Gonna roll this clip.
Thank you. How you doing? My home state, New York. Where's New York at? Give me a shout. Damn right. Look, for those who don't know me, my name is Tom Homan. I began my career as a Border Patrol agent in 1984. After 34 years, I became the first director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, that actually came up through the ranks. I've worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president I've worked for said they're going to secure the border. President Trump actually did it. He created the most secure border in our history, and that's a stone cold fact. The data proves it, and guess what? He's going to do it again. Under President Trump, we cut illegal immigration by 90%, the lowest level in 45 years. Deportations rose to the highest level ever, including historic numbers of illegal alien gang members and criminals. Most importantly, 4 years under President Trump, we had 13 people we arrested on a terrorist watch list. Joe Biden, 381. And let's remember, we got over 2 million known gotaways. How many of them came from a country that sponsored terrorism? God help us. Biden is the first president in American history to come into office and unsecure a border. Who the hell does that? On their first day in office, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris suspended deportations. They stopped the border wall. They canceled Remain in Mexico. They reinstated catch and release. They proposed amnesty for millions, along with free health care. And now we have a record illegal immigration, a record number of women and children being sex trafficked, a record number of Americans dying from fentanyl, a record number of known as suspected terrorists sneaking across our border. And here's what you need to know. This isn't mismanagement. This isn't incompetence. This is by design, and it's a choice. It's national suicide. But you know what? On November 5th, the American people do have a choice, and they're going to stop this madness. I got a message. As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damn right. because you're going home. I got another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done. President Trump is going to end the Biden-Harris open border madness. We will stop the drugs and the crime from pouring in your neighborhoods. President Trump has proven to the American people that he's a warrior. And he's going to make America safe again, and you can take that to the bank.
How beautiful is that? That was Tom Homan's RNC convention speech. Now, at the time, I thought it was amazing, and other people thought it was good too, but a lot of people did not like what he was saying, and they said, oh, it's so dark, and Hitler's coming back, and all this other crazy stuff. Bottom line is that guy has got so much experience. He's a no bullshit type of guy. He talks exactly the way that I would say things, especially when dealing with the media. He said that he would deport the whole family, not separate the families by deporting them all. I mean, that's what this country needs. That is basically it right there in a nutshell. And so I am so, so happy that Tom Homan is going to be the border czar. We are not playing around. These liberal, governors and mayors from different blue cities and states, you're not going to have any resistance, okay? You can try all you want. He's going to send in the cavalry, and he's going to drag these illegal aliens out of your city, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. There's no such thing, Gruesome Newsom, as Trump-proofing anything, okay? It's not going to work, and we're not playing around this time. And by the way, we're already hearing that Rick Scott and the numbers are increasing dramatically, okay? As a matter of fact, he's already surpassed John Cornyn. So Thune is still number one, but he's like 8 or 9 behind or 7 behind right now. So keep up the pressure. Please, tomorrow morning, when you're seeing this, go hit the senators immediately and tell them, do not vote for John Thune. Do not vote for John Cornyn. Only vote for Rick Scott. Period. End of story. This is a hill we have got to die on. Why? Because this is battle number 1. And we need to show these senators and these politicians that we, the grassroots, are going to basically tell them what they're going to do. And so we have to win this battle. We have got to win this battle. Now, next, I want to show you a video of President Trump. And I want to show you this video. It's about 5-6 minutes long. This video will make every single person who has ever been shadow banned, who has ever been censored, who has ever been threatened, who has ever been thrown off, as I have been, from all different platforms. This will restore confidence and faith in the First Amendment. And hell, I might even venture back out onto social media pretty soon. Go ahead and roll this clip.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling-off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Is that beautiful? Is that just perfect? No more Section 230. I talk about it in Preserving Liberty. I bring it up in I think it was 10, chapter 10. I don't remember what chapter it was, but whatever. And so we've got to get rid of that. And they're looking at doing that. And I think that is amazing. And not only that, we're going to cut off the funding for a lot of these big tech platforms and basically let them know that we're going to open up the floodgates, buddy. Okay? We're going to have people be able to sue your asses if you try to censor. And that's what we have to do. We have to use the tools at our disposal. And we will use those tools. So I'm really, really excited about some of the things that we have heard in that short little speech. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the fact that it looks like right now, it's not official yet, but it looks like Kash Patel could be the new CIA director. That would be amazing. He is on a tear to just release all kinds of documents, not just the JFK assassination, but of course the Epstein list, the Diddy list, all the other things that they've done, color revolutions in other countries, all of it is going to be released, especially if he is the one that's going to be, I hope, the CIA director. It looks like Elise Stefanik has been chosen as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Decent pick there. She's been a good soldier fighting for President Trump and for America First principles. She's a little bit of a New York rhino establishment, but she has shown that she's a good fighter for President Trump and the agenda. So I like that as well. Who else? Lee Zeldin. You remember Lee Zeldin, Congressman Zeldin from New York? Well, apparently he's going to take over the Environmental Protection Agency. Not sure how that fits, but we'll see what happens. And there was a couple others. The Secretary of State is right now in the running between Vivek Ramaswamy and Rick Grinnell. As I said on yesterday's show, I think Rick Grinnell, much better choice for that. Okay, Stephen Miller, he's going to be the Deputy Chief of Staff. Interesting position. I'd rather see him as Chief White House Counsel, especially with the America First legal organization that he runs. He's a terrific lawyer and litigator, so I would probably like to see him in a position like that. But don't forget Brooke Collins. Maybe Brooke Collins could be White House special counsel, and she's from the America First Institute. Okay, and that organization was started after they stole the 2020 election. So she is extremely America First, principles and values. So that could be a good position for her as well. Who was the defense secretary? They mentioned somebody, and I can't remember who it was offhand. I think it was Congressman Waltz, if I'm not mistaken, was the name that was put forward for that position. So again, a lot of these positions are being filled with people that are loyalists to President Trump and are America Firsters. So we are winning. We are winning. We are winning. We are winning. Now, the other thing I'm going to talk about is this. The House is ours. That's right. You heard that correctly. I already said it was going to happen yesterday. And about a week ago, no, maybe not a week ago, 3 or 4 days ago, I'll be realistic here, after the election, I said that the House's final numbers will be 222 to 213. Okay? That is a 9-seat majority. I am still sticking with that. Why? Well, very simple. Because right now it is a 9-seat majority if you want to use the official left-leaning decision desk, Associated Press, whatever you want to call it, they have it right now at 209 to 218. So it's a 9-point spread right now. I do believe there are 9 uncalled races right now. However, 4 or 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken, are in the state of California. And so I think that through shenanigans, voter fraud, whatever it may be, the RNC said they're in New York and they're watching what's happening, but this is California and only 80-something% of the vote is put forward. So in other words, there's still 20% of the vote left. Some of the Republicans in California are actually, leading and are winning. But I don't know what's going to happen there. So why do I say 222? Because I do believe that some of those remaining toss-up state races are not going to be won fully by Republicans. Okay? If they get 4 of them, which is what I predict they will, that brings me to 213. And if he can win, Republicans can win a couple more, we're going to get to 222. Now, what would be the bonus? The bonus would be if we can hit 224, 225. That would be really nice, because that would be a lot of extra seats right there. Okay? So I would love to be at 225, even to, 226, whatever it might be. But again, remember, there's only 435 members in the House of Representatives. So you got to do the math. The math works in my favor from why I picked a 9-seat majority, because if you take 213 and you add 222, you get 435. So I'm still sticking to my final prediction. And again, I could be wrong, but I'm going to stick to 222 seats for Republicans and 213 seats for Democrats. Now, this is an interesting little video. It is AI. It's not the real voices. But I do like this video because you could see that this is kind of maybe what was going on behind the scenes. There's no guarantee that this was going on behind the scenes, but when you think about the animosity between Joe Biden being cooed out of his position and the Harris campaign doing what they did to him, and of course Jill absolutely detests Kamala, and Obama is pissed off at Harris, and Harris is pissed at Obama, and Obama's pissed off at Biden, and Biden is pissed off at Obama, and then Obama and Nancy and Chuck, and everybody is at each other's throats. So somebody did this AI video, and I thought it was pretty cool. So here, I'm going to roll it right now. I'm going to roll this clip.
Tough break for Cammy, huh?
You just started a war.
No, I just finished one.
I am going to do everything in my power to end you.
Listen here, I've been around a lot longer than you.
Yeah, no shit.
You never understood how this really works. You were always a good soldier for them, but not me. I didn't get plucked out of nowhere like you did. I spent 40 years hiding skeletons for those fucks.
I knew you were fucking stupid, but this is insane. You really don't know the enemies you just made. We are going to erase you from history.
Oh, like I give a fuck. I've made my bed. I'll lay in it. I know my family is protected. How about yours? How long you think before investigations start? How long do you think you'll stay useful to them? Besides, give yourself some credit. You were the one that dared him to run. But now I gave him the Oval Office. How about you?
Joe, what the fuck did you do?
I don't remember. I'm just a crazy old man, right?
Did you make a deal with him?
Like I said, my family's protected. Hold on, I got someone who wants to talk to you.
Hello, Barry. It's been quite a long time, hasn't it?
This isn't fucking over.
I'm not an idiot, Barry. I just play one on TV.
So, who knows? Maybe that's happening. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. But here's what I want to do. I want to end tonight's show with this. There are a lot of, sadly, hysterical women out there. These are all young, for the most part, Gen Z type women, millennials, things like that. They think their world's going to end. They think that their friends that maybe are not white are going to be rounded up and taken out of the country in the middle of the night. Well, if their friends are people that have just arrived in the last 4 years and they are illegal, then yes, that will happen. Are they going to go back 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 years and take people out? No, they're not. They've already said they're not going to. But Tom Homan is not someone that's going to play around. He's going to go into these cities and towns, municipalities, whatever, states, and he is going to round up these illegal gang members, criminals, and all that. He's going to do that first, and there are plenty of them, okay? There are plenty of them. And then once he does that, he's already said he's going to raid businesses, just like Sheriff Joe Arpaio did here in Arizona when we actually had a real sheriff at one point. He went into businesses, and he raided those businesses, and he removed the illegal aliens out of these businesses. Then, of course, issuing fines and penalties for businesses that hire illegal aliens. All of that has to come back for the sanity and safety of the United States and its people. And so I am extremely, extremely happy that Tom Homan is going to be in this position. So this is wonderful. But let's get back to the hysterical women. I mean, they're talking about having hysterectomies. They're talking about, alienating their family. They don't want to talk to, their fathers and their brothers, and they're breaking up with their boyfriends, and they're divorcing their husbands. I mean, it's so insane to think that they're just going to ruin their lives because people lied to them and told them that Hitler has now been elected. It's sad. It's truly sad. And a lot of conservatives are actually doing the opposite. They're not making fun of them too much anymore. Now they're saying that it's sad and that they need help. Well, I'm not necessarily one of those people, because I am still going to troll them and I am still going to make fun of them. But I want to point out a couple of things, okay? First off, they said that they're not going to have sex anymore. But yet, they want abortions. Let me think about that for a second. Abstaining from sex, but we want to make sure that we have abortion. So we go out and we vote for ballot initiatives in the different states to pass abortion on demand, but now we're going to abstain from sex for the next 4 years because our commie whore didn't win. That doesn't really make much sense, okay? And the other thing is, why, and I don't want to sound too crude here, but why do these liberal women think that their vaginas, or bonus holes, if we want to be left-leaning and correct, politically correct, right? Why do they think that their bonus holes are somehow worth, more than gold? Why do they feel as though that they have something that we would want? I don't think so. We would go out and find conservative women who, by the way, I don't want to sound crude, but I will, because that's me. They're spreading like peanut butter, okay, for their husbands and their boyfriends. And guess what? They're having more babies. And they're going to have a lot more babies. And guess what? We need more babies, okay? Conservative women are all over X and everywhere else, and they're saying just the opposite. We're happy. We can afford to have more children. We can afford to expand our families. It's a wonderful, wonderful development. So these liberal, pissant, blue-haired fruitcakes with nose rings, no one wants to fuck you anyway, okay? That's what I would say. But let's have a little more fun, okay? This is really cruel, and that's why I'm suggesting it, because, that's how I roll. Let's torment them. Let's torment the shit out of these liberal women, okay? They already think their world's going to end. They think that all their rights are going to go away. So let's start trolling them. Let's start reaching out to them with things about Project 2025. Let's tell them that we're watching their periods. Oh, yeah, we're watching their menstrual cycles. Absolutely, sure, absolutely. Oh, let them know, too, we're going to ban all birth control. No more contraception for you. No. Project 25 says it. No. You have to have babies now. We're going to force you to each have 10 babies. That's what we ought to do. We ought to start just messing with them and tell them that Project 2025 is alive and well. And get ready for it, because you're going to live in a theocracy, a Christian nationalist, dominant, totalitarian, authoritarian religious society. Let's scare the living shit out of them, because they deserve it. They deserve it. But a lot of people are taking the opposite tact, and they're being nice, and they're being cordial, and they're being empathetic, and they're being sympathetic, and they're being warm to them, and they're telling them, look, it's okay, everything's going to be fine, you're not going to have to worry, we're not going to round up your friends, we're not going to take away your rights, all this. The left-wing media prostitutes have absolutely destroyed these poor women. So we have a choice. We can either feel sad for them, or we control them even harder. I know what my thought is on that. Maybe yours is different. But the sad reality is that the media has done what they did. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. The majority of these women, 25-30% of these women that are crying online, that are saying these things, that are cutting off their hair, and that's the other weird thing. Okay, maybe you were a little bit attractive, but now you look like a little boy. Now no one wants to, okay? So I don't understand what that means, but I guess if you're abstaining from sex, what does that matter, right? But the bottom line is, a lot of these people are going to wake up, and you're going to see videos, and I'll predict it right now. Before the 2026 midterm elections, you will see multiple women go on social media, and they will say this. I did a video after Trump won, and I said that I wasn't going to have sex, and I said my world was going to end, and all my rights were going to be taken away. But now I understand that the media gaslighted me. I understand the media lied to me. And now, because I know that, I'm supporting Republicans. I'm supporting President Trump. I have now changed from a lunatic Democrat to a Republican. Mark my words, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen by the hundreds and thousands of people. Once they figured out that they were lied to, they will become hardcore conservatives. It happens all the time. It happens to anyone. You never hear, oh, I used to be a conservative, but now I'm a liberal freak. No, it's always, oh, I used to be a Democrat. I used to believe in all this stuff and open borders and, no bail and all this other crazy stuff. But then I figured it all out. I got married. I got children. I got a job. I have responsibilities. And now I get it. I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Yes, even to these blue-haired, purple-haired, nosed ring freaks. Watch, and you will see. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one. Hi, I'm TV talk show host, investigative journalist, and now author Josh Bernstein. In my debut book, Preserving Liberty, Bold and Brave Solutions to Save America and Create Permanent Freedom, you will learn how to restore voter integrity and confidence. You will also learn how to balance the electorate to make sure that it is fair for all voters. You will also learn how to end the class warfare argument. You will also learn how to dismantle and rein in Washington, D.C. permanently. Of course, we will also talk about ways to balance the national debt, to pay off some of the national debt, as much as 10 trillion of it. And of course, we will also talk about how to rein in the media and to make them more accountable. So please check out Preserving Liberty. You can go to Amazon and get your book today. Thank you.